Oh, her warning.
Yeah, this is a girl who says that man
well,
has trouble.
This did happen to me, and it was a he. And I went right ahead and married the guy, and it was Garrett.
Hello, cinema enthusiasts. Lucille Ball. She was not only the queen of television, she was also the boss of Desilu, one of the most powerful studios in Hollywood. That power gave her something no one else had, a front-row seat to the true faces of icons. Before Lucille Ball died, she exposed 5 actresses whom the public worshipped but whom she described as evil in real life. This list is not about simple diva tantrums. It is filled with stories of pure cruelty and destruction. And you will be especially shocked by the name at number 5. Lucille said her smiling while stabbing style was the most dangerous thing in Hollywood. Let's begin. Number 1. Joan Crawford, the ice mannequin. At the top of the list is the woman who shook Lucille Ball more than anyone else in her life, the one she described as the Ice Queen, Joan Crawford. The world saw her as the face of elegance. Lucille saw nothing but pure coldness behind the diamonds. The real confrontation happened in 1971, when Crawford appeared as a guest on Here's Lucy. The moment Crawford walked onto the set, the emotional climate changed. During production, Crawford began humiliating a 22-year-old costume assistant in front of everyone over a wrinkle in a dress so small it was nearly invisible. The peak of the incident came when Crawford hissed at the girl, "You are nothing. Even toilets have more use than you." The assistant ran away sobbing. Crawford demanded that she be fired, but Lucille refused. That day, Lucille realized something chilling. Crawford only acted human when the cameras were on. The moment the lights went out, she turned into something as emotionless and lifeless as a store mannequin. Result: for Lucille, Crawford was not someone who lived humanity. She merely performed it. Because of her humiliating behavior toward powerless people, Lucille remembered her as truly evil until the very end of her life. Number 2. Judy Garland, a talented wreckage. In second place is someone Lucille Ball both admired and could never forgive, Judy Garland. Lucille respected the magic in Judy's voice and her tragic genius. But everything changed when she saw how that genius turned everyone around her, especially struggling crew workers, into wreckage. Lucille and Judy crossed paths since their MGM days. Lucille always treated discipline and punctuality as sacred rules. In the early 1970s, an incident on a TV production pushed Lucille to her limit. The entire crew, cameramen, makeup artists, lighting technicians, was ready at 5 a.m. Hours passed. 10:00, 12:00, 1:00. Judy Garland was nowhere to be seen. Finally, at 2 p.m., she arrived as if nothing had happened, wearing her famous victim smile. She delivered 30 minutes of breathtaking talent and mesmerized everyone. The peak of the incident came immediately afterward. Judy suddenly said, "I'm very tired. I can't continue." And she left the set. Because of this irresponsibility, filming could not be completed and the production went massively over budget. The next morning, to save money, 3 innocent crew members, completely unrelated to the incident, were fired for cost-cutting reasons. Result: when Lucille Ball heard what happened, she was shaking with anger. In her eyes, Judy Garland was a black hole that only consumed herself. Number 3. Bette Davis, sadism born of arrogance. In third place is the legendary actress Bette Davis, whom Lucille Ball said took secret pleasure in hurting people. Lucille never questioned Davis's acting genius. What she hated was how that genius became a weapon to humiliate those weaker than herself. The incident erupted in the mid-1960s at an elite Hollywood industry dinner. Lucille Ball was sitting just 2 tables away and witnessed everything second by second. A young waiter, clearly around 19 or 20, his hands shaking from nerves, accidentally brought the wrong wine to Bette Davis's table. It was a simple mistake, but for Davis, it became a performance. At the peak of the silence-filled room, Davis snapped at the waiter. "Can you even read, boy? Or do they just dress you up like this to harass people? Get out of my sight. You couldn't even clean toilets properly." The boy turned bright red and retreated, his tray trembling in his hands. Davis took a victorious sip of wine and, when she locked eyes with Lucille, flashed a smug smile. Result: that night, Lucille Ball made a crystal-clear decision. Bette Davis was not just a difficult woman. She was a sadist who fed on humiliation. Number 4. Ava Gardner, savage behind beauty. In fourth place is Ava Gardner, whom Lucille Ball described as a savage, one with the darkest soul. Lucille believed Ava's beauty was an illusion, one that concealed primitive cruelty. One afternoon, Lucille stood beside Ava Gardner during a costume fitting at MGM. A tailoring assistant brought Ava a silk dress prepared for that evening's scene. The dress had been slightly oversteamed, causing a tiny deformation along one seam. Ava looked at the dress. Then she looked at the girl. Lucille later said Ava's gaze was no different from a predator studying its prey. The moment peaked when Ava snatched the dress from the girl's hands, threw it on the floor, and said, "Never bring me garbage like this again. Your incompetence entertains me, but it wastes my time. Now get out, and never enter this building again." The girl ran out crying. Ava calmly turned to the mirror and adjusted her hair as if nothing had happened. Shortly afterward, when Lucille heard Ava say at a party, "She's a washed-up clown. I don't understand why she's still working," Lucille realized once again that there was not a trace of empathy in that woman's heart. Result: Lucille Ball summed up Ava Gardner with one brutal sentence. If this woman weren't beautiful, no one would tolerate her savage behavior for even a second. To Lucille, Ava was a hunter who used beauty as a weapon and took pleasure in making victims. Number 5. Zsa Zsa Gabor, the smiling dagger. At the end of the list is the woman Lucille Ball called fake down to the bone, and the most dangerous of them all, Zsa Zsa Gabor. According to Lucille, Zsa Zsa was worse than Crawford or Davis because she hid her cruelty behind sweet smiles and soft, darling words. The incident took place at a major charity ball in the late 1960s. Zsa Zsa Gabor sparkled like an angel under the cameras, wrapped in diamonds and fur. The moment the cameras turned away, a 20-year-old volunteer gently touched her arm to help guide her. The peak came when Zsa Zsa put on her sweetest, warmest smile and whispered, as if offering a compliment, this chilling threat. "Darling, touch my fur again with those filthy hands, and I'll make sure you never breathe in this town again. Now show me your teeth and keep smiling." Lucille watched the entire scene from just 1 meter away. She never forgot the terror frozen on the girl's face, or the demonic glint in Zsa Zsa's eyes. Result: Lucille Ball used the phrase fake down to the bone to describe Zsa Zsa Gabor. To Lucille, open cruelty was honest, but smiling while stabbing was pure evil. Years later, when Zsa Zsa slapped a police officer, Lucille simply said, "Finally, the mask fell, and the world saw the real Zsa Zsa." As the queen of television, Lucille Ball taught us this. Spotlights can illuminate even the darkest souls, but true character is revealed by behavior when power is involved. Lucille never forgave these names because she believed success never gives the right to crush others. What do you think? Was Lucille right to stand against icons to protect set workers? Let's meet in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and like for more Hollywood mysteries. See you in the next revelation.